Hello, it's Lord Slaw here, coming back at you in the video, and the topic of today's is the top 5 worst Cybermen stories. So even though the Cybermen haven't had that many televised stories altogether, they've managed to get just about enough to fit a list like this. Like, just about enough shit ones is what I mean. Usually the reason of this is the Cybermen being completely misused, completely misunderstood, sometimes just bad writing. And to be honest, there's a lot of stories which aren't on this list which really don't get the Cybermen. And in my opinion, it was only really the 60s which managed to get the Cybermen. And even then, the Wheel in Space and the Invasion, while they were quite good stories in their own right, I mean, the Invasion's on my top 10 for God's sake, but no, they never really understood the Cybermen after Kid Pedley stopped writing stories, unfortunately. But oh well, let's get into it. So at number 5, we have the next Doctor. So in fairness to this story, it's not terrible. It's shit, don't get me wrong, but it's not terrible. As in, there's some good stuff, but it doesn't push it over to the point where I hate it, even though I'm not going to rewatch it anytime soon. So what do I enjoy about this episode? Mostly the whole next Doctor thing David Morrissey puts in a good performance, and that part of the episode's generally enjoyable. However, most of it is a bit, if you know what I mean. It's fucking pantomime as shit, and if there's one thing that I and a lot of other Doctor Who fans hate, it's, pantomime style Doctor Who episodes. Oh my god, and loads of Christmas specials like this as well. As a Christmas special, in comparison to the other Christmas specials, it's not that bad, but that's because Christmas specials are among some of the worst stories of all time. But anyway, yeah, it's not amazing. The Cybermen are used pretty badly. It's got a lot of shit elements, but I don't hate it. But it still deserves to be on this list because, as I said, it is shit. So at number 4, we have Nightmare and Sylvie. I previously said that I didn't mind the episode way back in one of my first videos, but coming back to it now, what the fuck was I smoking? This episode is terrible. How did I ever like this? Wow, it's cringy and it's stupid. That's all there is to say about it, really. Mr. Clever genuinely makes you want to regurgitate all over the screen. It's one of those pet peeves which just fucking gets right on me tits and just won't let go, like a drooling pervert, like the Jimmy Savile of Doctor Who, even though he was in Doctor Who technically because Jim will fix it. But let's forget about all that. I just it's not very good. I mean, maybe terrible's doing a bit disservice. It's not. I don't hate it. I'll put it that way. I don't hate it, but it has a lot of elements which just make me sigh and frown and be like, this is cringy. Do I really have to sit through this? At least they had the courtesy to shut down the kids for most of the episode, but even then, the moments where they are in, they're fucking annoying. And so's Clara. And so's the Doctor. In fact, everybody's annoying in this story. Apart from Warwick Davis, he's alright. But then, when isn't Warwick Davis alright? Screw up. It's a bit shit. In fact, it's quite shit. But there you go. Nightmare and Silver, ladies and gentlemen. So at the next spot, we have Darkwater / Death in Heaven. Wow, this episode is a complete mess. I mean, Darkwater's alright. It's not amazing by any standard, but I enjoyed it on the whole. But Death in Heaven is just wank. Now, let's go over the flaws with the story. One, Missy really didn't need a story arc. Like, yeah, it's the Master. We get it. I'm fine with some build up to the reveal, but having an entire story arc based around it with little bits at the end of the episode seems a little bit over the top for something, not really that huge. Also, the Cybermen were done atrociously in the story. I mean, for one, they're basically fucking Iron Man, and for two, they're just the Master's bitch for the entire thing. Like, Cybermen are meant to be this scary, independent menace who go around, sweep the universe, converting everything they find, removing their emotions, not just somebody's tool. And when somebody tries to use them as tools, it always backfires on them, i.e., Klieg and Vaughn. Where in this case, nah. That's just completely stupid. And plus, I thought Cyberbrig was incredibly disrespectful to Nicholas Courtney, and it really shouldn't have happened, and Moffat should be ashamed for actually going through with that. I mean, I can understand why you might have it as an idea, but that's the kind of thing that just gets chucked out of the window when you realise how stupid it is and how disrespectful it is. But of course, Moffat has a bunch of yes men and no script editors, so you can see how it might end up like that. So at number 2, we have Silver Nemesis. Whoa, what the fuck happened here? I mean, It's so bad, especially as the fact this is meant to celebrate 25 years of Doctor Who. I mean, it's not like they didn't have any other scripts to go to. They could have just said, fuck it, we're making Remembrance of the Daleks the 25th now, bitch, because it actually celebrates Doctor Who a lot better and is an amazing episode. Whereas, yeah, it's so awful. I mean, to the point where it's almost, some people, enjoyable in how bad it is. All the plots are shit, all the side plots are shit, just everything about it reeks of shit. The Cybermen have done shit, and if I was to describe Silver Nemesis wrong word, it would certainly be shit. And I would even go as far to say it is terrible. I know I've been kind of avoiding saying stories are terrible on this list because they weren't that bad, but this is that bad. It's the really stinky turd at the bottom of the litter pan. It's Silver Nemesis. If you like it, what are you smoking? Unless you enjoy it just because it's so awful, in which case I can understand you. I mean, it's so funny, especially the one where the Nazi shoots a parrot because he's a Nazi, or the moment where the Cybermen have to back off from this golden arrow in the ground in case they slip on a banana peel and impale themselves with it. Silver Nemesis, man. It's too funny. So laughs and giggles shall now turn to tears and anger. Blood red anger. Do you know what this is? A disgrace to Doctor Who. A disgrace to the Cybermen. Do you know what it is? It's closing time. I hate this episode so much. It reaches the very bottom chasms of my body and scoops up the resentment and makes it fly out my mouth because it's awful. It's awful. I mean, I don't like Craig. Fair enough if you do, but I hate him. I hate how cringy him and Matt Smith are. It's just annoying. No offense to James Corden. It's the script. It's shit. I mean, they're no beating around the bush here. I mean, there's loads of cringy stuff in this story, like the baby being Storm again, the Doctor talking baby. It's arse, but you know what you're here for. You know the thing which really gets me with this episode. You all know what it is. It's you unconvert from a Cyberman because of the power of love. That's bollocks. That's absolute bollocks. It's bullshit. It's crap. It completely devalues the Cybermen. They're not menacing anymore because, if you just hear your baby crying, all of a sudden you'll get your emotions back and come out of the army. It's absolutely shite. It completely ruins the Cybermen. There's so much bad about this story. I hate it. I vow to never watch it again as long as I live, unless I have to do a concise review of it. That's the only circumstance I can foresee where I will have the balls to watch this episode again, because I hate it. I absolutely hate it, and I don't care if you like it. I mean, fair enough, but I don't care, because I'm going to come tear you to shreds with an axe, because anything good related to this story needs to disappear. It doesn't really make any sense, I don't really mean it, but who cares? I fucking hate closing time. It's so awful. And that's it for today's top 5. It ended on a pretty dark note, I know, but it's closing time that did this to me. Closing time. Goodbye.